There, and do a selfie. Alright. Okay, let's see how this works here. Okay. We're going to take this trail here and see how we do. It's a little icy today. It's been fairly cold here. Like I say, it's got a lot of adjustments here. Okay, so this is the new camera I have for Christmas here. Is a Xiaomi 4K ActionCam with a gimbal that supposedly takes the shake out of walking here. Now, there may be some gimbal noise. That we hear on the audio, but I can edit that out with my video software. I'm being a little careful here so I don't fall with the camera. So the whole idea here is to get a smooth video that we can see here. Whoa, those logs have ice on them. Let's see, it's about 32 degrees, right around freezing. As we go up the hill, it gets a little colder. I've done this video many times with using my other cameras and my cell phone, but the big problem is the jerk. Now there's the creek that's coming down from Connell Lake, which is a lake that's about 4 miles up the mountain here, and this trail goes all the way, but it's quite a hike, so we only go, sometimes we go for an hour and 10-minute walk, and today we're going to only go for a 35-minute walk. But you get plenty of exercise because it's up and down, lots of staircases. So far we haven't had any snow this year, so that's been good. Don't have to contend with the snow. But the last week it's been kind of chilly. It's been in the 20s at night, a few nights in the low 20s. And the high today is going to be 36, which it is, right. But that's closer to the town. When you come up the mountains here, it's a few degrees colder. That's why at home it might be 36, but here it's only 32 because of the elevation. Yesterday we had nice sunshine. If I would have had the camera yesterday, but it only came in the mail last night. So. So it's going to be interesting to see how smooth these walking pictures are. With my other cameras, they're pretty jarring. The gimbal I'm using is quite a complex piece of machinery. It's got 3 electric motors and electronics that zero in on true ground, what the perpendicular is, true perpendicular is, and it's actually the little motors move the camera to compensate for the jerkiness of my walk, and it keeps the camera rather still. Okay, here's a staircase. We're going to have to be a little careful because it's icy. You can see the dogs, they run on the grass rather than on the ice. I have to be a little careful. It's not quite yet cleat time, but if it gets icier than this, I have a set of cleats in the car. Now here, I'll do a little pan there. I'll do it again, so try to go slow here. Okay. All right. I can see it's going to take a little bit of work to get used to working this gimbal. There's lots of controls on it. Hopefully my first video is actually going to turn out. You see the blinking light, that means it's recording. Here's a patch of ice. I got to be real careful. It's got a little film of water on it. Okay. So this, if it stays under freezing for a week, the creek will freeze solid, including all the waterfalls. That happened last year. I got some pictures of that. It was pretty cool. Anyway, this is our favorite walk here because it's along the creek and it's going up a mountain. The last few years I've been meaning to climb all the way to the lake, but the last mile and a half is pretty rugged. And now my dogs are getting to an age where Sunflower's 13 and Violet's 12. And if I take them on the hour and 10-minute walk, they're pretty pooped. Can you imagine if I took them on a 3 or 4 hour walk, whether they'd make it or not? Okay, we're gonna go up the stairway here. So this is a good workout. It works your legs and your knees. Far better than a flat workout. All right. Most of these action cams, if you're using them for adverse weather, you got to put them in a plastic housing. I would imagine a short period of time they will figure out how to weatherproof the basic camera so you don't have to put it in a weatherproof acrylic housing. Today there's no danger of rain. There is danger of snow, but snow won't hurt it. And the gimbal is not waterproof either. So some more stairs I gotta be careful of here. Anyway, this Settlers Cove is 18 miles out of town, and it's exactly 5 miles from our house. So it's not too bad to drive here. It's 10-12 minutes and we're here. Plus I get the truck running every day, so and there's other trails down by the ocean as part of the state park here. So there's a few down there that are pretty challenging. One is I call it 1,000 steps to heaven, because that's what it feels like by the time you reach the top. I have been taking that for a couple months. That's a real workout. Adjusting the gimbal here a little bit if it's going up and down. Okay, here's a shot of the waterfall. Now it's pretty dark, it's overcast. These sport cameras have a 2.8 f-stop on them, focal length, and so they're normally used in brighter conditions than this, but this should show fine. It works indoors too, but the pictures get a little grainy. But that's true with all action cameras. They have a small aperture. The f-stop is, in this case, 2.8. My Amazon Fire Phone does a lot better. It has an f-stop of 2.0, so it shoots indoor in limited light very good. What they ought to do is make another version of this exact camera and put a f1.8 f-stop on it, which would make it a wonderful low light camera. And then they're inexpensive enough you could buy two of these, one for daytime shooting and the other one for evening and nighttime. Right now none of the action cameras have a 1.8 f-stop in them, and so maybe there's a technical reason there's not enough focal length to do that, but I don't think that's a problem because I got a 2.0 in my cell phone and it's pretty thin. So anyway, we'll take a look at the old growth here. I got to get used to the joystick, and I have a pair of gloves on that all right. A pair of gloves is kind of hard to operate all the buttons on this thing. This is a pretty neat gimbal in that it has a fairly large battery that powers the gimbal for 6 hours. It also powers the camera as well, so you have 2 hours of battery in the camera, or depending on what you're shooting. If you're shooting 4K, you only have an hour. But you have all the other battery power from the handle, the gimbal, the big battery that's in the gimbal. So, and then you can turn the camera on and off with the buttons on the gimbal, which is pretty cool. And I'm sure there's other features in the gimbal I haven't found yet, and there's techniques. Guess I gotta look for a course on YouTube to find techniques of using the gimbal, because it does require, I can see, a little level of skill here, so that your videos turn out all right. It looks like with the gimbal I should have the monitor on all the time so I can see where the picture is, but I don't have I should have set that before I turned everything on. So right, the back video display that shows you the picture that the camera's taken, it goes out after a set period of time that you can set, or you can set it to be, and I gotta watch the ice here. That's why everybody walks on the side here. Okay. Alright, should have probably practiced a little bit at home with this thing. Okay. A little bit more frost on the trail here. It's going to be a little... Okay, we've been poking along here because I've been taking pictures. Normally I'm way ahead of this. Anyway, this camera can shoot slow motion and time lapse pretty significantly. This slow motion, you can go very smooth slow motion down to 1/8 time, and you do that. They have a 720p setting at 240 frames per second. And then when you display that on a 60 frame per second display, it ends up slowing it down to 1/8 the value, or 12% of the time. So and you can, the 1080p slows down to, I think, 3/4. So it has a zillion settings on it. I haven't tried them all. I haven't tried any of them, actually. Okay, here is the short walk. This is what we call the sandbar. And when it's been raining a while, the water is actually up. You can see where the sand is. Here, the sand. And but we haven't had any rain for over a week. So, and this is one of two creeks. I'm going kind of slow. On my main computer at home, I got some pretty powerful video editing software that pretty much does everything. You can make a movie with it if you want. Even does special effects. I can use multiple cameras, up to 4 cameras at a time, like they do in the movies, and splice it into a single film. Also, you can do marvelous things with the audio. You can have separate audio. Oops, what happened there? I must have pushed the button here. Alright. Yeah, this gimbal's going to take a little getting used to. I can see that. Okay, here we got to be careful again. All right. see the dogs are running up here. Practicing here a little bit on the gimbal here. There's nobody on the trail, so the dogs feel pretty safe. They're kind of running ahead of me when there's other people on the trail, and they sense that they run. I wish it were a little brighter so we get a little kind of pretty when the sun's streaming through the trees here. So the heavy overcast that we have now. Anyway, with this little device, I hope to make some much better videos than I've been making. I have 3 other action cameras with 3 different tripods that I can put if I'm doing an activity or something. I put 3 and then I use this as the main one. And then I can piece videos from all 4 cameras together for different view angles. Okay, here's another staircase here. Okay, you can see the ice forming out there. I'm going to be a little careful here with this icy stairway. Okay. Walking at this speed, we're about 12 minutes from the car. Normally we're 10 minutes, but it's pretty slow going with the gimbal. So the video quality of this camera supposedly is on par with the GoPro Hero, which is the gold standard of action cams. Alright, you gotta be careful on this stairway too, or this bridge. There's another stairway. Luckily this one doesn't have much ice on it except for the logs, so you gotta stay off the logs. Create the steps. In the summer there's blueberries all over the place here. Haven't seen a bear in a couple of years. I saw one cross the road this summer when I was coming out for a walk, but we haven't run into one on the path here. They're pretty harmless. They kind of run if they see you. And generally, they see you before you see them. But my dogs know they're there if they're in close. So. They're pretty harmless. I have to laugh. I see hikers come out this trail and they got 44 caliber bear pistols on their hips. Don't understand that there's no grizzlies on this island at all. Although 40 miles away from here, on the peninsula, there's tons of grizzlies. I don't know if they were killed off here by the early settlers or whether, for whatever reason, they never settled this island because they couldn't swim across the channels, but I don't know. Now, when we lived in Anchorage and we went on hikes, you had to be careful. You carried bells on your ankles. I never carried a gun because I don't like to have guns in the house, but this is quite a stairway here. Here you see the creek. Okay, continue, go down these stairways. In Anchorage, every year there's people killed by brown bears in the springtime when the sows have their cubs and they're desperate for food. And you got to be real careful. We saw a grizzly and we were in Denali National Park. It ran right straight through our campground. Although we were inside of a all aluminum trailer. But some of the people in tents got a little nervous. But it was actually chasing a young moose. But here you don't have to worry about any of that. We don't have moose. The moose are pretty dangerous too. They kill people every year up in Anchorage and in Fairbanks. It's because they can kick forward with their foot like a football kicker, and they're deadly. And when we lived in Fairbanks, we had moose in our yard quite often. And some would chase. My oldest son at the time was maybe, 7 years old, 6 years old, and he used to chase him right up to the door. A little nerve-wracking. And we made snowmen in the yard and put carrots for the nose and that, the moose would come eat the eyes and the carrots and whatever else we used to make a face of a snowman. Okay. We're about 50 feet above the creek right now. And we're away from it by not too far. There it is right there. So we're 40 feet from the creek sideways and 50 feet above it. And as the water flows down, it has multiple small little waterfalls and rapids. There's one sizable waterfall down inside the state park near the beach that you take that 1,000-step trail up to sort of a viewing platform where you can see the waterfall. It's not real huge. It maybe falls 30 or 40 feet. That's all. It's a small one.
Time 45 minutes 0 seconds. Distance 1.2 miles. Average speed 1.6 miles per hour.
Take another look here. Okay. All right. Oops. Again, I'm not real used to the controls here, but after using it 4 or 5 times, I should get a lot better, and the videos should turn out a lot better than they are now. All right. Here's another view. Okay, here's another stairway. This one doesn't seem to have any ice on it, so it's in good shape. Dogs are wondering why we're going so slow. Oops, here's the little ice here. Be careful here. Yeah, it won't be long now until I have to wear my cleats. Alright. I'm going to take a look at this. There's a Alright. The cars around the bend here. About 1/8 of a mile up the hill there. Here's another trail that goes down to the beach. It joins into several other trails. So, and there's a full state park down there with camper spots, RV parking, bathrooms, and they even have a cabin you can rent. And it's right on the ocean. It's absolutely gorgeous. In fact, we have
15 minutes, 0 seconds.
we
Distance, 0 miles.
we have 3 state parks here, and they're all gorgeous. And basically, they're used mainly by the locals because the cost of bringing up your vehicle on the ferry. Here, come here. Wait. Car is coming. Wait. Wait.